Hey Disney fans, welcome back to Not Your Normal Guy, the channel where we review anything loosely related to Disney. If you love theme parks, movies, or TV, this is the place for you. And hey, Disney owns it all, so everything's a free game, right? Whoa! Oh no, the child fell off! If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new here, press that little red subscribe button to become a true Disney fan. That's right, when you press that red subscribe button, you ensure that Disney villains continue to lose in our movies. If you don't, they just might win. Alright guys, it's a tradition. It's a thing. It's not really a trend anymore, but who cares? It's part of my process and I'm going to do it anyway. It's not like I gear my content toward the most popular things. I can't tell you how many of those sucky live action remakes I've ignored that could have pulled much bigger numbers because I have a commitment to review Disney movies in order of release, except for when I'm in the theme parks or reviewing Marvel movies or Star Wars or talking about other things. Okay, I don't really make sense. I'm sorry, but I suppose I should explain what exactly we're talking about here. Lessons Animation taught us, or Latu, is an idea Mikey Newman started a couple years ago because he is truly the boss of YouTube and what he says goes. And he's given a platform to different creators of all different persuasions, ideas, backgrounds, and philosophies where we discuss what we learned from animated movies. When I first heard about this, it was so close to my brand that I thought I just had to make one of these. If you haven't yet, I suggest you watch the entire playlist. They are fascinating videos from all different types of creators, and you definitely want to check them out. I have placed a link in the playlist in the description. So far, I have done 3 Latu videos. My opener was about happily ever after and divorce. And then I've searched for themes in Disney's Golden Age and Wartime Shorts movies and Disney's Silver Age films. You should also check those out if you are interested, also linked in the description. But today we are talking about the Bronze Age. I finished reviewing and ranking every Bronze Age movie over the summer. It's been a long time coming, but I've had trouble figuring out what I want to say about these movies. I mean, it's a weird period in Disney's history. After Walt Disney died, and then Roy not too long after, and yet before the weird rise of Michael Eisner and his supervillain ability to make money, for a time anyway, these movies were all very weird. They're weird. Every one of these movies feels very different. The Golden Age was marked by artistic creativity and experimentation. Wartime shorts were marked by music, and the Silver Age was marked by selling out, kinda. But with these movies, there's no telling what you're gonna get. There's no consistency in the artwork or the methods. Some are musicals and some are definitely not. Some don't have any idea what tone they're going for at all. New ideas and technologies were being created and utilized at a fast rate, and the movies range in feel from light and airy to sad enough to make you crawl into the fetal position to scary as hell. Young people at the time rejected the Disney company en masse because they were Generation X, and Gen X has never done anything positive with their lives, and the Disney company just, well, it was making it, but kind of barely. Luckily for them, at least they had their theme parks, but even the theme parks had no content. I have a Disney sing-along VHS from 1990, and the most recent character they featured in parades was Roger Rabbit, because they had nothing. But surely we can squeeze a theme out somewhere, right? Of course, right. Before I get started, please press that like button to help more people find this channel. It helps me out so much. Also, 85% of those who routinely watch my videos are not subscribed, so press that subscribe button. We are on great track to grow very quickly. It's free and painless, I promise. You'll just have to look at my face every once in a while. Surely that's not too bad. Even if it is, press that subscribe button anyway for insulting me. And leave a comment and tell me what your favorite movie from the Bronze Age is and what lessons you learned from that movie. Like I said, it was hard to find a theme in these movies, but then came the 2020 election, and America, we're not doing well, are we? Everywhere I look, I see people angry with one another, and as a self-avowed centrist and libertarian, I feel right in the middle of it. I come from a very conservative place in Indiana, and I'm surrounded by very conservative friends and family, and yet I have friends and family who are very liberal also, and I want unity. I want hope. I want people to care about each other and not argue over the Thanksgiving table where I might as well be the turkey, and both sides will rip me to shreds because I don't agree with them. Both people want me to pick a side, but I just want to find new options. I'm that girl from Mean Girls that wants to make cake and eat rainbows and wishes we could all just be happy. But then you find out she doesn't even belong at the school.
She doesn't even even go here?
Yeah, that's me. But as I thought about this political climate, our quickly changing culture, and our leadership over the last 4 years, I thought about bullies. I mean, even if you liked Donald Trump's economic policies and some of his posturing, you still have to admit he is a bully. I mean, when he openly makes fun of a mentally handicapped reporter.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Bully. When he calls women pigs or cows.
I think everybody would agree that she deserves it.
Bully. It seems to me as though it would be hard for anyone to say that Donald Trump is not a bully to some degree.
Go look at her, she's a slob.
Power is corruptible. Power leads to vanity and living above the law and not caring for the poor and a lack of respect for justice. And when I look at the movies of the Bronze Age, this theme emerges of power. Power over a child. Power over your toys. Power over your falsely inherited kingdom. Power over animals, both domestic and wild. Stupidly utilized power. Power of entertainment. Power of wealth. Only one of those, arguably partially two of them, is used positively, and we'll get to that later. But first, let's talk about that gaslighting bitch, Medusa. Medusa has power that has been stolen. She has taken a little girl and used her for her own purposes. See, there's this rock and it's hidden deep in a cave. Medusa doesn't care about human life, so she just wants the riches, and she needs a tiny little body to get the diamond. She doesn't care who she has to use or possibly even kill in order to get those riches. She knows that this sweet, innocent child, Penny, might die trying to get the diamond, but it doesn't matter to her. However, she does feign niceties toward the child. When someone puts her down, she says,
"That is no way to speak to our little Miss Penny."
And yet for all her posturing kindness, she does not love Penny. She does not care about her. She knows that Penny is only a means to an end. Truly, after Medusa does get the diamond, she all but pushes Penny into the cave where she would likely die. She has no regard for this child or the responsibility that raising a child means. As a matter of fact, when Penny discusses the idea of being adopted, Medusa cruelly remarks,
"Adopted? What makes you think anyone would want a homely little girl like you?"
Medusa knows how to keep her subject in line, make Penny feel undervalued, gaslight her until she feels she is worth nothing, then give her an ounce of dignity, and she'll come crawling back to you because you are all the love she feels she can expect out of life. After her abuser pushes her to her breaking point one last time though.
"Don't worry, Daddy. We'll be alright."
Penny develops a new sense of strength and finds her savior in the tiniest form, a mouse, which seems appropriate for Disney. Ultimately, she overcomes her abuser through the help of her community, and she is able to leave. Her community helps her break free of her bonds and helps her find strength to say no more. She needed that community, though. Maybe we all do. The one place in these different movies where power is exerted in a positive way is in The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I suppose you can say that the little girl in Oliver and Company also uses her power for good in that movie, but then you also get the corrupt rich man and her rich, neglectful parents, who both seem to be less than a positive. So, once again, community does play a large role here, but this time Christopher has all the power, and yet he uses it in the most positive way. Christopher Robin is a noble and kind dictator. When his subjects are hurt or are losing the things that they have, they are given good gifts from this all-powerful politician. They are provided with shelter and comfort from this character. Christopher Robin is what we hope the government would be. But, as I said in my review of this movie, Christopher Robin is really seeing himself in all these little stuffed animals. To look at it from a biblical basis, do to others as you would have them do to you. This idea is very easy for Christopher because each of these animals is a projection of part of himself. Each of these stories are manic retellings of things that Christopher is learning. He's play-acting life scenarios, and I love these stories. Christopher is everything I would want in a person, a church, or a government. But, let's be honest, this is not the way governments work. Unfortunately, it's not even often the way churches work. At the very least, this is not the way we have ever seen governments work. Even when a government gives something to its people, they don't give out of the goodness of their heart. They give out of some desire for some amount of loyalty at best and dependency at worst. It is refreshing to see Christopher Robin loving on his animals in such an unadulterated and frankly childlike way. There is something so innocent in childhood, something so uncomplicated. I wish with every fiber of my being that the world was like this, but it is not. In The Great Mouse Detective, Ratigan is a selfish entertainer.
The hit that made headlines in every newspaper.
He is great at aggrandizing himself. But so is Basil. In many ways, Basil and Ratigan are exactly the same, except one is willing to kill people. Ratigan lives to entertain and goes out of the way to be the center of attention.
From the brain that brought you the Big Ben caper.
So does Basil. Basil's first scene shows him displaying Asian face and then playing an instrument because he is having a big feeling and doesn't know how to cope with it without becoming the center of attention. He treats Olivia and her father horribly.
See here, I simply have no time for lost fathers.
Until he realizes that their mystery is his ticket to resolving a mystery he actually cares about. Yes, Basil doesn't kill anyone under his leadership, unlike Ratigan, but he has just as much of an utter lack of respect for life as Ratigan does. Now, these two are not supposed to be a one-to-one representation of our own political factions, so don't try to read into them, but these two mice are a good enough illustration that our political parties do not care about us. Neither one of them is particularly good, even when politicians try to use race or sexual orientation or pro-life stance or pro-capitalism stance as their selling point for one of them. They are doing so out of a desire to get you to vote for them. Do you think they would give a damn about you if you would refuse to give them their vote? Regardless of what side we are on, we all know that answer. So this is very intentionally not a call-out post for one side or another. It's not meant to get you to vote democratically or republicanly or libertarianly in the next elections. It's not meant even to mobilize you to vote. Of course, make your voice heard. I want you to vote, and you should vote the way you feel would be best. Listen to voices on every side of the spectrum, and especially live in community with friends who represent diverse people and see what they actually think. There are media narratives that are louder than the people who they represent. However, this video is meant to say that despite what our politicians would have you believe, they are the ruling class. We cannot allow our politicians to divide us and make us hate one another. I have seen so many people claiming to have been hurt over the last 4 years, people who wanted to see Trump put in jail or wanted to see the people who wanted Trump put in jail. I swear it's like Politicception. These movies show us an uncomplicated view of power and show us that power, when it is not used to love everyone as they love themselves, is corrupt. In reality, we the people have power. We have voices. We can lift those voices to care about each other, or we can lift those voices to denounce everyone, while the politicians stare on with glee at humans who hate each other and can easily be manipulated into doing what they want. I hope we unite together as people under a government we view as a necessary evil, rather than having the politicians unite over a people they view as necessary evil. We can do it. I don't know about you, but I believe in us. Thanks for joining today. I know that politics can be very divisive. I hope that I didn't say anything to offend, but only to unite us together. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, but try to keep them respectful. I'm always interested to hear what you have to say, and I'd love to talk to you in the comments section, even if you disagree. Have a great day, and I'll see you again in another couple weeks.